What's going on? This be your boy DJ Anonymous with Sports Biz Music episode 9, and I got a special guest in the building, my girl Jekasole.
Yo, what's good, everybody? What's good?
Nah, I think we was on social media for a while. A while now. You know, shout out to my boy Yat. I think I went on his page one day, and cause what I do is I like to. Like artists that I work with, I kind of want to see like what artists, what producers and stuff, who they work with and stuff, and like, how they is and stuff like that. So I went on your page one day, like a while back, and I like this girl, she dope. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, one day somehow, some way, I don't know if we do a mixtape, you know what I'm saying, or an album, but we here doing the interview.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So tell the people about yourself.
All right. Well, my legal name is Jessica. But I like to be known as basically Jekasole. The reason why I picked Jekasole mainly was because as a little girl, everybody in my household calls me Jekka. And then basically Soul for two reasons. I have a very big sneaker fetish. So That's why it's spelled S-O-L-E. And at the same time, if you look up the word soul, it also solidifies as being unique. So,
okay. I kind of figured I like soul. That's like... she probably a sneakerhead. What sneakers do you like? Like growing up, what sneakers did you like fetish over?
To be honest, growing up, I really, really had a thing for Jordans. Like it was just, a thing. Now it's not so much because Jordan kind of raised up his prices.
Yeah.
So I kind of like switched over more to Adidas now. But just because I feel like Adidas is just a more comfortable shoe.
I think Adidas nowadays, it's comfortable. Don't get me wrong. Like, I always been a Nike guy. But like Adidas, I think not only is the technology, like the feeling, like, cause I heard a lot of people say it's comfortable, but it's just like you see now they more hands on with their fans. They more into like the culture. Not even just hip hop, but like pop culture everywhere. Like it's like I feel like they models like just to bring people together and like just dope people together and like just showcase, cause like. It's a lot of people. Got Aaron Rodgers, James Harden, Pharrell. It's a whole bunch of people, that's under their umbrella.
Yeah.
So it's just like I wouldn't be surprised like if Adidas would surpass Nike or even Jordan in the next 5 to 10 years.
Surpass even LeBron. LeBron shoes ain't cheap either, boy.
Yeah, LeBron. I'm not gonna lie. LeBron shoes was like they used to look ugly. But now it's like, I ain't gonna lie, like I remember when he played for the Heat, they had the Everglades.
Oh.
Them joints is hard, but it cost too much. It was like $300. But so do you a Christian rapper, or you consider yourself as a rapper or just an artist?
I consider myself as an artist that basically I will always express my faith on my relationship that I have with God. So basically it's just my message is that hope has a name and his name is Jesus.
Yeah.
So that's how I would solidify myself.
Yeah. My bad, everybody. We outside of Starbucks on Biscayne, so don't mind the noise, you know what I'm saying? But so yeah, where does your passion start?
Honestly, it started as poetry writing. And then next thing you know, like I see my cousin, he was always writing some freestyles in the house. So I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And then one day I asked him, I was like, can you teach me? And he was like, you're already doing it, just you need music. So he ended up showing me how to do it, and then like I just started writing it. And what I used to do is, I don't know if you guys remember, like the little 15-second ringtones.
Yeah. Back in the day.
It was like in middle school, I would literally rap before the 15-second ringtone would come on. So I would just say like a whole verse and then just play the ringtone to come after. That was before like I knew about instrumentals and all the other stuff.
Damn, so you used to do that like for 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So that when I was like around like what, middle school?
That was middle school. I think I was in 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah, because that's when ringtones around that time. Because we all close in age. So.
That's when you can send your ringtones through infrared. I don't know if you remember that.
Infrared, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Like, hold on, bro. Let me see my ringtone. You can't do that no more.
So so like middle school is like you started like rapping and stuff, right? So when did you like first record your first like actual like song?
I was actually in college.
Mm-hmm.
It was back in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
It was my homeboy. His name is Demetrius, but he goes by DYFL.
Oh,
That's my boy.
That's my boy. I've been trying to get you on the show.
That's my boy right there. We went to school together.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him on the show for a while, but you know he very busy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to you, man. You need to hurry up.
Love you, D. No, but for him, like we made our first song together. It was called "Make a Toast."
Yeah.
And I was 18 when I recorded my first song.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it was just like, it was just a love that just hit me so hard that I was like, yo, I want to continue to do this.
Yeah.
So then basically I just kept going, different studios, writing different stuff. Mm-hmm. But I honestly didn't get to produce like my actual first project until last year. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it took some time, but I mean, like he got me through that first door. He was there with me to write my first song, and it was amazing.
That's what's up. So like the piggyback. So in high school, you never did like any like
talent shows.
Like talent shows,
I did. Honestly, all through high school, everybody knew that I knew how to rap, but I was very shy. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really like showcase my talent until my senior year. Mm-hmm. It was for our senior talent show, and I showcased my first song, and it was to the I Got 5 on It instrumental.
Oh yeah, everybody wanted to get on that. So that's what's up.
That was my first like debut, and then after that I had enough courage to go and record my first song.
Did you get like a standing ovation when you did it?
I mean, I had a lot of people that was clapping, and they was finally happy that I went out and showcased my talent. Yeah. But honestly, I can't remember if I had a standing ovation. But I know, like, for the first time since I've been in college, I did an actual talent show last year in November, and that was just amazing. Mm-hmm. It was just amazing, like, to hear the kids. I'm not gonna say kids. To hear the students. I'm sorry.
Student body. Shout out to FIU.
To hear the students basically just singing along, because it just showed me, like, you know, like, God is just working in such a way. Because, like, people don't understand how powerful music is, and just within the lyrics itself. So it's just like, it was really nice to hear, like, everybody just coming together and being able to sing the song. Mm-hmm. So
this was up. So you recorded your first track with DYFL, right? So what happened after that? Like, what else did you make? Like
after that, after I recorded my first track with DYFL, I ended up coming out on his mixtape. It was Miami Vice, if I'm not mistaken. I came out on his mixtape, and then from there, like, I just kept jumping on different people's mixtapes.
I gotta hear that, because I heard the mixtape before, but I gotta hear it again.
Oh, I wasn't under Jekasole though.
What you was under?
J Candela.
So why you changed the name?
Basically, like, I was just going through like a phase where I was just trying to find like who I was. Yeah. So with J Candela, basically it was just like, it was just taking the first letter of my name, and then Candela, which means like fire, like. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like, it just, my friends was like, "What sounds nice, you should go with it." Yeah. So I was like, okay, like, let me just go with it. But it just, like, it didn't fit me. So then I didn't actually find my name until I went on one of my other friends' projects. His name is J-Con. Yeah. And he was like, "Yo, we need to do something with your name." Yeah. Because he was like, your full legal name is not going to do it for me. So he actually gave me the name Jekasole. And I was like, wow, like, it was always right in front of me, but I never, like, realized it. So we spoke about it, and I really liked it, and I kept it.
That's what's up. So who all, like, mixtapes you was on?
It was DYFL. I was on my cousin. His name is Spliff That Shit.
Spliff That Shit. Where he from, down south somewhere?
Well, he's actually from here. And then he what is it? He has a mixtape that is called Smoking Roaches. I came out on that with him. And then he has another one. I can't remember the name of his mixtape. But basically, like, I just started jumping on different people's projects until, like, I got comfortable enough with what I wanted to do. But in all honesty, when I jumped on DYFL's project, it was nothing on the level of, like, Christianity or anything like that.
Oh, so you was cursing?
Yeah.
Because on this on your most recent album. The reason why I asked, before we started the podcast, was you consider yourself like a Christian rapper, because most Christian rappers don't cuss. Like I remember, yeah. One time I was like, yeah, you cursed on one of them songs. You said damn, so he said no. Like we literally went like back like the whole mistake. I'm like, okay, all right, you didn't curse, and I think I gave him like $5 or something like that. I forgot, but
no, it was before I started to like really get into my relationship with God. It was more like I was still trying to find out who I was, and what I wanted to be identified as. So it was just like, other than that, like when I started doing other projects as I got older, my only rule now is like I'm not going to knock you down for whatever genre you choose to represent or whatever. But me personally, I can't jump on a song now that it basically contradicts everything that I stand for. Like I'll be honest and say it up front, like I did it before, but like now that I know what I'm doing, it's more like, okay, like either you okay with it and we do a song together, it's gonna be clean, it's gonna be nice, or you go and do what you gotta do and I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
But ain't nothing wrong with like growth. Like ain't nothing wrong with like, all right, everybody, we all went through something. Like, I ain't gonna lie, with me, like, I should do mixtapes that was like 30 tracks, Then I dumbed it down to like 20, 15. And now my mixtapes, shout out to my girl, Valona. We did mixtapes. It's called A New Era, mixtapes. So I gotta get you on the 5th, volume 5, but pretty much we could just get like, dope artists, from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I always gonna show love to like my city and like to my state, but just grabbing different sounds and stuff like that.
And putting it together.
Yeah, and it just taught me how to just, learn more about just, all right, don't settle for 1 or 2 or 3 sounds, not settle, but like search for a new sound. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember on one of my mixtapes, I had she was like a country singer from Pennsylvania, and some people was like, why you got her on? I was like, I want to be different. I want to be that DJ
that has the diversity within his stuff.
And that's what I want. And then like I start noticing like I do have that diversity. Whether you R&B, whether you hip hop, but then if you hip hop. And I got some people that did like some rock hip hop and stuff like that, Then, just with anything, I just like to be diverse with everything because I always feel like the more diverse you are, the more opportunities come in and stuff like that. So so what was like your first project by yourself? What's your new name?
A project by myself.
Yeah.
No features?
Yeah. I mean, it gotta be. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you wasn't Future or nobody else. Like, it was your project.
Basically, I would have to say the one that I just recently put out. Like, that was my first project that I took so much pride in with my new name because it was just like, it just shows the growth of like where I was to where I'm at now. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. And I think like that's just the importance of it because like everybody, me especially, like I have this thing where like time is the essence for me. So it's just like when I see time and I'm just like, like I should be here already, but it's just like, like there's a lot of people who don't get to wake up to make it to where you were before or where you are now. So it's kind of just like, it's just to show the growth and like I'm actually putting stuff together now for my next project. I just don't know when I'm going to release the next one, but it's just basically like more just being transparent with who I am. So something different.
Tell the people about the project that you have now.
The project that I have now is actually called Bear a New Name. And basically where I got it from was actually from the book of Corinthians. I'm sorry, the book of Revelations, 2:17. And basically it was just talking about how when God gave the people the opportunity to choose which way that they wanted to walk. It was like he rewarded those that chose to walk with him instead of against him. And the way he rewarded them was basically giving them hidden manna from the heavens and then also presenting them with a white stone with a new name written on it that only he and the person he gave it to. So it's like if you look at my album cover, I'm holding a rock.
Yeah, I seen that's hard, yeah.
And it's because of that, like, it just spoke to me in the sense of where it's like, you're always going to have people that's going to, like, put all these labels on you, but it's just like, if you made that decision, I made that decision. So it's just like I said, I'm not the same person that I used to be. But, like, at the same time, like, I'm still not where I want to be. But at the same time, it's like, I know who I am now, and I'm just going to keep walking within that direction. So basically, that's what the album is, just letting you guys, like, an insight on my journey.
Yeah. So before I start, like, breaking down each, because it's like a new thing I want to do with artists. Like, I want to, a project they just brought out, I want to, like, break it down, each track to see, like, why, what's the story behind the track.
Okay.
But what inspired you to even do the album? Like, what was your inspiration? Because I know artists they just, y'all like to, either you at the gym, you in your room somewhere, you driving, like, what inspired you?
To be honest, just writing the entire project itself. Some of the songs were pre-written a long time ago. I just didn't know where to put them. Some of the other songs, like, they just came within a matter of weeks. Mainly my inspiration was just to ask God what message it was that he wanted me to give. Because at the end of the day, like, it's all about what's inside the music. Not so much the beat, but, like, the message that you're giving. So I just wanted to give something that I felt people needed to hear.
Yeah, because, you're an artist from Miami, and, we spoke about this before the podcast, and we were saying that, Miami is still the South. We still a part of that, what people call the Bible Belt. We have, not only that we have strip clubs and, like, all these club scenes and stuff, we have, like, churches on each corner, you know what I'm saying?
Everywhere.
And, like, just like me, like, you, like, just me and you and everybody else, like, down here, we was all raised in the church.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We was raised about faith, and, what was that, one of the main inspirations of you even changing your direction?
That was one of my main, because it was just like, I could have went a different direction, but it was just like, I just had this encounter that it was just like, you know what, like, I don't care if I'm everybody's, like, favorite artist. It's just like, I just know what I'm doing, like, it's just to plant a seed and let just God do the rest. Like, I was very content with that, and I'm still content with that. So, like, that's just basically what made me change my direction. It was just my encounter, and just, like, I can't really explain it. Something that you would have to, like, kind of just have to experience for yourself.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I ain't forget the 10 tracks, but, I've been through a point where, I kind of lost faith in it, because I always tell people, like, if you haven't, like, at least doubted faith, you to me, you haven't really got closer to God. Because it's like, it's like being in a relationship, with whether it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend, husband, wife, even with your career. We all been through that. Where, we pretty much, like, okay, I didn't, I was going through a lot, I was in high school and stuff like that, so I like, damn, like, is this really, like, is he really real and stuff like that? It's like, is faith real,
Exactly.
So my mom and my aunt just told me one day, they was like, man, like, just, it was like a wake-up call, like, just think about where you at right now. You probably would have been in a different direction. They were talking about myself.
Yeah.
So I thought about it, and then, like, ever since then, I just started growing and growing and growing, and, as I got older, I haven't, been back to church. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to go, but I always tell people, like, I don't have to always go to church. I just sometimes I want to so I can hear the message. But, I pray every day. I always, like, I told myself I always learn, just to meditate, especially when stuff get hard, because whenever, like my mom said, whenever times get hard, you can go to one person, and that's God. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
But let's get to the album, because this it's like a church right here. No Matter, track 1. was a dope to me, one of the dopest like intros in the album. You know what I'm saying? Especially for up and coming artists like yourself. What's the story behind it?
No matter actually is basically just. I feel like everybody kind of comes to a point in their life where you were just saying like they doubt.
Yeah.
They doubt God and like they even doubt themselves. So when I wrote it, it was basically like I wrote it with a different intention in the beginning, where it's basically just like, you know, we have this tendency where we always like to find blame, but we don't look for ourselves to hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah.
So we'll always go blame the next person. So basically, the song is it's a conversation between yourself and what I signify as my spirit, but other people will call it their conscience. So it's basically just a conversation between the two, and basically just like, you know, one part of yourself is basically going off on the other part because they're blaming everything that's happening in their life because of this and this and this, and then the other side of you is just like, no, like you're gonna sit down, you're gonna listen, and I'm gonna tell you straight. And like that's basically what it is. And then just the chorus of it all is just like God reminding you that no matter what it is that you've done, or no matter what it is that you think that you've done to see yourself as being unworthy, like you're not. Like He died for you, and you know you live because you know He has a purpose for you. And I felt like that was really important, because a lot of people have this tendency where like, oh, you know, like I've done so much bad stuff, like I can't, like God doesn't care about me, He doesn't want to know me, like I don't got no place or whatever, like or people would like to say I'm going to hell anyway, like that's not true.
It's not true.
So like that, I feel like that was very important for me to share.
I feel like, you know, God, He, as we get older, He let us, you know, make mistakes, because, you know, we're not perfect, but He wants to see, He wants to see, you know, how we handle that challenge. You know, well, is we gonna let the challenge overtake us, or we gonna go against the challenge and just fight through what we going through and stuff like that. So that track, like, it got that message. You know,
that was one of my favorites.
Track 2, Love of My Life.
That one is a very like favorite amongst a lot of
yeah, it was dope.
A lot of my little fans, my little cousins especially, like they know every single word. They even did like a little dance routine for it. Love of My Life basically just signifies that within any relationship, like everybody's looking to be loved.
Yeah.
No matter if it's from your friends, a significant other, within your parents, like not a lot of people get to have the opportunity to have that love from a specific human being, but it's just a constant reminder that.
Sorry, we're closing the patio. Okay. You're more than welcome to sit inside, okay? Thank you.
Sorry about that, guys. They're trying to kick us out soon. But basically, it's just it's a constant reminder that you don't have to change who you are, and that basically that once you were born, you were already the love of somebody's life, and that love, you were the love of God's life the first second that you were born into this earth and before you was even conceived. So.
That's what's up. Because when, you know, I know a lot of people when they heard. Mine's my bad. But I know like people probably had different. They probably thought you was talking about, you know, a significant other.
A lot of people do think that, and a lot of people ask me too. They're like, "Oh, is this about a specific person?" And it's just like, obviously, people are always gonna interpret music the way that they feel. But my main thing was just to plant a seed with inside you. So it's just like, whatever way you interpret it, I know what way I wrote it. I'm not gonna tell you, no, you're wrong. Like, you know, it's just like, I can't tell you, oh, this is the wrong way to listen to music. Everybody has their own thoughts.
Yeah. So. And we move on to the third track, Tug of War.
Tug of War. Tug of War, basically, it just signifies the constant battle that I feel everybody faces. You can call it the constant battle between good and evil within inside yourself, or basically just between like you doing what you know is right and what you know that God doesn't want you to do. So it's basically just that that fight within inside yourself that you don't tell nobody about. And basically just the chorus of it all is just like, a lot of days people, you know, a lot of people close themselves out because nowadays people are fake. Like, they want to know about you so they can talk about you, not to help you. But it's just like, the way I saw that song was that God is different. He wants to know about you because he wants to make sure that you good.
Yeah, because that was like another deep message, because it's true. Like, you know, especially well, I say not the generation, but just the time that we live in. Like, you know, it's so much negativity, even within like our own, you know, families and friends and stuff like that. And we just try to, you know, get away from that, you know, negativity, and just, you know, try to bring in more, you know, positivity in our life. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's very true. It was actually like, I wrote it, just, I had someone very like special in mind when I wrote it, so it was just like, it came together. Yeah.
And who was that?
My brother.
Your brother? Okay, I thought.
No. No, it was my brother. My brother was like, we were going through a really rough time, so it was just like, you know, like, I wanted him to know that at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter what people say. It's just like, the only person who can judge you is God, and it's just like, that's the one you should be worried about.
No, that's deep right there. That's deep right there. And I always like a brother-sister relationship is like one of a kind. You know what I'm saying? So I can relate to that. You know, like, you know, having older sisters and even having a younger sister. You know, just that bond. You know what I'm saying? That's just like one of the untouchables. You know what I'm saying? So
me, my brother, and my sister are like the three musketeers. Like, we're always together. Even though we have like a gap within our ages and stuff, like, it's just like we're each other's best friends.
So you the oldest or you the middle?
I'm the oldest.
You the oldest?
I'm the oldest. My brother's the second, and my sister's the baby.
Okay, so how old you is?
I'm 24. My brother's 22, and my sister's 18.
Okay.
So it's not that big of a gap, but it's like still, you know.
Still like you the oldest and stuff. You still gotta look out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Track 4, we got Hallways.
That one was a really good song.
I like that song too.
That one I actually got to produce. Well, not produce, but actually record the song with my best friend. Which her name is Brittany.
Yeah, Brittany.
Basically, that song is just, it's a message that, you know, the saying that goes, when one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah.
So it's just basically the saying that, you know, even though like some things are not going your way, like, until God opens another door, like, continue to give him praise, because it's like that next door could be the door that takes you to where you didn't see yourself or where you thought you were going to be, but it's 10 times better.
Yeah.
So, like, that's what the whole message behind that song. That's actually, like, it's one of my favorites, too.
And like I said, like, you know, there's nothing wrong. I think with our generation, a lot of people are afraid of opportunity sometimes because of maybe the challenges. Maybe they want to, you know, stick to an environment that they're familiar with. But even I had to learn. I had to, you know, take a leap of faith.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a podcast. Growing up, I never used to like to talk like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for me, knowing so many people and having so many, you know, connections and stuff like that, you know, I remember people would come to me, you know, sometimes late at night just to talk and stuff about, you know, their situation. And I was just like, you know, one day I may be like the next Oprah. I should joke about it, but you know what I'm saying?
You don't know, like, you honestly don't know. And the way that I've learned is like, God is always gonna help you grow in unfamiliar territories.
Yeah.
So it's just like the fact that you said it, like, you never were a person to talk, and it's just like you don't notice it till later on, but like you're growing.
Yeah. So it's all about growth.
Exactly.
Track 5 got What Did I Ever Do?
What did I ever do? What did I ever do? Basically, just comes down to like me just basically looking around at my life and just asking God, like, what did I ever do to deserve, like, just everything, like another day of life, the blessings that he's given me, because it's just like, as human beings, we're not perfect. We're always gonna fall short, but it's just like he's not like us. So it's just like he still blesses us, and like it's just amazing, and it's just my way of showing him thanks. Like, what did I ever do, but thank you.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like, you know, when things start to come, like, I'm talking about like in packs, like, we always want to, like, you know, all this good stuff is coming to us. We always like, what did I do, you know, to deserve it? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I just feel like it's like a. Does it sound right if I say cliche? Because like everybody, even like the more no one's not perfect, but even like the most perfect person would be like, what did I ever do to deserve this?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It is kind of cliche, but it's just like sometimes it's just how you feel. It's just like you look at everything around you and you take a step back and it's like, wow, like, you know, like, because there are times like even when you doubt, I was like, I doubt you. Sometimes like, not saying that I do it, but like just sometimes people will call him out his name and it's like he still continues to be there for you, protect you, bless you, and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
So you know.
Since we talking about I Know, track 6 is called I Know, which is one of my favorite tracks from the album.
That was actually, I called it my
was you having fun while you was recording this?
I was having a lot. That was actually my Justin Bieber song.
Yeah.
That's what I call my Justin Bieber song. Like, for some reason, I had a, not an obsession, but it was this song that Justin Bieber did with DJ Snake. I can't remember the song right now, but basically when I heard the beat, I was like, hold up. I was like, I can do something with this.
Yeah.
And it's just basically like, I had a lot of fun writing that song. I actually got to do it with my boy Sean. And I met him like 5 years ago. And Sean was actually the first person to start recording me when I started to do my Christian music. Like when I just started doing like freestyles, like coming up.
Well, Sean, you got to be on the show because Sean went in on that too. I believe that was a track. Yeah, he at the end he did like a little high note.
Yeah.
Or some I like.
And he didn't want to do it, but we made him do it.
Nah, he
didn't want to do it.
Why? Like, have you have we're not done yet with the tracks, but have you done the music video for any of these songs yet?
I know actually has a music video.
Because I was about to say, like, this has to be like your baby in the album. Like, you have to push it.
Yeah, this one is my baby. That one it's actually on YouTube and it's in my bio on Instagram. But like you can look it up. It basically you just look up Jekasole and you'll find it. So that was my baby. Like I had a lot of fun. I actually did the music video and my album release party all in the same day. Like it was crazy.
Well, next time when you make another album release party, I will be there.
Okay. I'm going to hold you to that.
Track 7, Time Again.
Time Again. I'm actually debating to do a music video between Time Again and Tug of War. Like, I'm still...
Why not all 10 tracks?
Well, for my next one. I don't know yet. Like, I don't know which one I want first. But
I think Tug of War. Time Again was dope, but Tug of War, we need that, especially in nowadays.
It's because the vision that I have for Tug of War is just like I want it to be like a movie. Because I feel like it's just that deep. Like it can't be, like usually like, with some things that they don't have nothing to do with the song. Like I want to infiltrate the lyrics within what's going on. So it's like I have to sit down with that one. But Time Again is basically just a track that it was reflected towards me in the sense of I was just going through a really difficult time. Where I was just asking God, like, there's so many times where, like, I doubted you, I turned away from you, I did things that I know you told me not to do, and I did it anyway, but it's just like, you're still here for me, you're still here to pick me up, and it's just like, I feel like a lot of people can identify themselves with that, because in the sense of it's just like, time and time again, like, we continue to do things that we know is not right, or just do things that, we know that we could be doing better. But it's just like time and time again, like he always shows his mercy. And he always shows his grace. So it's just like, it's like that for me really hit home. So that's why I was like, I had to.
Well, I hope I be in both videos.
Okay.
Glorify Your Name, track 8.
Glorify Your Name. I actually did that one with my little brother. If you look on the album, it'll say like featuring J4D.
Yeah.
And that's
your brother?
That's me and my brother. When we first started, we started off as a group. and J4D stood for Justice for Deliverance. But as we got older, my brother kind of like went towards a different path of like just making film and like choreography. Like that's what his passion was. So it's just like when we did Glorify Your Name, he actually wrote the chorus and just basically like the entire concept of the song. And like he came to me with it and he was like, Jess, I have this idea. This is for you and we're gonna kill it. And like it was basically just like something fun. Like this is actually one of our crowd favorites, just because it's like has crowd interaction with it. But one was definitely one of our favorites. But this one is like a little bit older. I think we came up with this song maybe like 2 years ago.
So you hold it down. So y'all both hold it down. That's what's up. And then track 9, you got All I Need, featuring with the J-Con.
Yeah. J-Con is my boy. Basically, we actually connected through Facebook through a mutual friend.
Yeah.
And then, like, I can't remember right now where J-Con lives because every time I say it, I'm always wrong. But I know he doesn't live here within Florida. But he's basically reached out to me to come out on his project. So when I had this idea, obviously I don't write myself off as a singer. Yeah. But I won't deny, like, for me to try to test some things. But when I heard this song and I wrote it, I was like, nah, I want a singer, beautiful voice. And basically, like, this song is just a message that at the end of the day, like, even if you have nothing, like, you have everything if you have God in your life. Yeah. So it's just like, that's the message that I took from it. Like, people obviously sometimes look around, they don't have material things, and it's just like, the fact that you have your life and you know that God has allowed you to live another day, like, that's all you need. Because it's another opportunity to be better, to go and be great.
See, for this podcast, y'all, it's God, faith, growth, opportunity. Because I said, like, you know, time just, you know, it's hard, but, you know, like I tell my fiance, you know, my best friends, you know, I tell them, like, you know, every time I wake up, I get extra hype because there's always, you know, new opportunities out here. You never know. Like, to every artist I met, every person I met that's, you know, that's chasing that dream, I say any moment now you could blow up. You could be, you know, that person. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you got to just have faith and just work consistently and, you know, just, you know.
You gotta be open to change, constructive criticism. Yeah. And just like, you know, being able to put yourself out there in different environments that you're not really used to or like comfortable with. Because that's actually something I'm working for myself. Like just putting myself in different environments.
Yeah. So. This was and then the last track, Bear and New Name, which is the title. So, it's kind of crazy because like this is actually the last track. I never seen that before. As the title of the actual album is last. Like, was that on purpose?
It was on purpose.
And why is that? Before we go deep into it,
I put it on purpose because, like I said, like in the beginning of the podcast, I said this entire album is just an insight of my journey. So it's just like I felt that in order for you to understand why I consider myself of having a new name, a new identity, you guys kind of had to have a backstory. So basically all the tracks leading up to it is the backstory.
Man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
He is mind blown right now, guys.
I'm mind
you can just see his face right now.
And she will be on my album, y'all. The people that know that I'm working on that album, you know, shout out to DJ Khaled, shout out to DJ Drummer, which is like my favorite DJ. You know.
Mine too.
He was the one who, you know, my sister, she went to school at Alabama State.
Oh, okay.
And she used to live there for a while, and then before she moved back down to Miami, but she used to always come back down with like Jeezy tapes and stuff, and Lil Wayne tapes and stuff, and it'd be DJ Drummer tapes. You know, Drummer, he went to Morris Brown up in Atlanta.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, so like he'll sell like, you know, his mixtapes and stuff like that. So, you know, her going to HBCU, you know, Alabama State, you know, they all connect and stuff like that. So she brought down Jeezy mixtape. I think it was Can't Ban the Snowman, and DJ Drama posted that. And ever since then, I'm like, this man, like, he's my idol. He still is my idol. Like, I want to interview him one day. Like, I just want to sit down and just
talk to him,
pick his brain and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I want to come out of the album is because, one, you know, a lot of DJs showing that, you know, they could come out with an album. You know, just pick people that, you know, that feel like that's right, you know, for the trap.
Exactly.
And like I always say, like, I know a lot of artists, you know, and probably the hardest thing about it is not really getting the beats, but it's just like when you get the beat, you're like, damn, who I want to get on it? You know what I'm saying? Like you said earlier, I don't want to push you on the trap that don't make no sense for you. Like,
exactly.
Honestly, you'll probably be one of them artists where I'll probably push you on the trap by yourself, or I'll probably push you on the trap where it just got to make sense.
It has to, like, there has to be, like, a connection.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just know, like, I don't, like I said, I don't discriminate on, like, being on people's projects, but for me, like, most importantly, is, like, I have to know the message, what we sending out, because...
So if it's the right message, but the other artist is cursing, you'll be fine with that?
Probably not.
Okay. Because that's what I'm saying, like...
Yeah, probably not. It's only because it's just, like, at the end of the day, like, it's just, like, I have to be careful with what I do, what I say.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's not like me trying to be a different person. It's just at the end of the day, like, everyone will hold me to a higher stake just because of the walk that I chose to walk. Mm-hmm. And the faith that I choose to hold on to. It's just like, it's nothing on purpose. It's just like, you know, just something more for me to try to come up from.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, but like, I'm not gonna even sit in front. Like, one of my favorite artists is actually Drake.
Drake. Like, we was gonna talk about that, but I was trying to wait. Nah. We gonna talk about that in a little bit.
So it's just like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's stuff that I will listen to and that I'll jam to, but it's just like, you know, like, I always listen to the message. Like, it's really hard for me to listen to a lot of, like, raw music.
Yeah.
Like, stuff that's not really saying nothing. Like, it's just, I can't.
Pretty much the Little Pump of the world.
Yes. Gucci gang.
I didn't even know he was from Dade. I didn't know he was from Miami.
Neither did I.
Until I had to look it up. Like, this man from Dade? I'm like, he's from Carol City.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So the producers, Platinum Beats was like the ones who produced the whole album. And then you also had Death Stars was produced the
All Over My Life.
Yeah, the second. So what was so unique about these producers?
I would say that what's unique about them is just like their vision to being different to sound. So it was just like the fact that they had these like club banger beats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. It was just something that drew me to these beats. Like, it just like they would play them for me, and I'm just listening. I'm like, you know what? Hey, like, I like this. Like, and it's crazy because even my engineer, when we would play back the tracks, he's like, hold on. He's like, you sure we're doing Christian music here? And I would start laughing. I'm like, what you mean? He's like, this don't sound like it. I'm like, there's no words. Like, what are you talking about? And he starts laughing. He's like, no. He's like, this doesn't sound like a beat that you would listen to for gospel music. And I'm just like, well, I said it's time to switch it up. Like, you know, we can make it exciting and still like, like staying true to who I am. Yeah. And still like being able to keep up with what's going on today.
Yeah, like I said, like with Lecrae got some tracks. I'm like, you can play this in the club, but it has that message, you know, behind it. You know what I'm saying? So these producers are like your Dre, pretty much, or like your Swiss Beats. Like you have to have them on board for anything.
I'm open to different producers, but like for this entire album, like honestly, I didn't even realize that we got all the beats from this one particular group of people until like the end of the album when I had to put the credits together. And I realized, I was like, wow, I should have like not even put produced by this, produced by that, I should have just put entire album produced by whatever, but I didn't catch on to it.
Nah, because like, you know, I have beats, you know,
I'm a very big sucker for 808s.
808s?
808s.
So I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Okay.
You heard that? Little Red Red. Shout out to Little Red Red. Shout out to Valona. Shout out to all the producers that, you know, I mess with. Make sure one of y'all had them 808s. But most of them, majority of them, they, especially Valona, she like the 808 sound. Like she you know, she's from Jersey, you know, so Florida and Jersey, we got like that same sound, that same, like, when it comes to like certain beats and stuff like that, like we got that same vibe. It's just that, like I tell people, you know, she's still from the East Coast, you know, it's more lyrical.
Yeah.
Down here we lyrical, but we more up tempo with it. We more like, you know, we need to dance to it. You feel me? Like,
we need the dance. We need the hype.
Yeah.
We need the ad-libs. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but like really, like I'm not very big on ad-libs.
No, yeah, I can tell.
Like, I don't know, for some reason it's just like I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like that's extra stuff that, like, if it's needed, then yeah. But me personally, I don't really care for them. Like, I've noticed that when I was making the project, like, we would go and my engineer would like, "Do you want to add ad-libs?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. Like, I'm good."
All right, so earlier we missing Drake. I'm gonna say the top 5 rappers, you know, for later. You seen what he have done for the city the last couple weeks. What you think about that?
Me personally, okay, Drake is like my man crush every day. Okay, like, and this was since Degrassi. Okay, when he was Jimmy.
Yeah.
But no, like, me personally, like, I always feel like everybody kind of has like this patronizing thing towards Drake just because he's open about his emotions or whatever. Mm-hmm. But me personally, like, he has a really good heart, and it's just like the fact that the way he treats his mom, and just like the respect that he has for, like, you know, as far as like what he shows for the women and his fans, and just like what he's done in general. Like, he's done a lot within, a few weeks than what a lot of like local Miami rappers who've kind of like blown up has done since they've blown up. And it's crazy because he's not even from here.
Now we get into the juicy part, but I want you to finish, like, about Drake.
He's not even from here. This man's from Canada. He's from Toronto. Mm-hmm. But, you know, coming up in his career, he did mention that he was always in Miami because, you know, mainly that's where he would come out, do a lot of his production. Yeah. So basically, like, this became his second home. But it just shows, like, you know, it doesn't matter if you're from here or not. It's just like, you know, where your heart lies. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, it was mad love. Like, I saw his video today for God's Plan.
Yeah, it was deep. I seen it too. Like,
and like, I was literally in the math lab. I was watching him. I was doing my homework, and I was looking. And I was like, oh my God! I almost started crying. I was like, cause it just touched you. Like, it's just like, wow. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, it just shows like a different picture that, you know, usually like a lot of people always have this bad thing to say, like, oh, artists only talk about these certain things. They don't care about other things. Like, what are they doing for me? And it's like, in reality, it's like, this man not even from here, and he came here and, man, donated like $50,000 to Overtown Youth Center, another $25,000 to like different schools. It's crazy, like, and like, I have a friend that, like, even like her boyfriend went to dinner with Drake, like him and the entire basketball team. I was so jealous. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I was so jealous.
With damn Drake come by the crib. My mom, I had told my mom about it. My mom was like, shit, Drake need to come over here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't come to FIU. I was so upset. But then again, one of my friends was like, if you had the opportunity to make a video in UM or FIU, what would you pick? And I'm like, that's not even right, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, we both went to FIU, but, you know, even with the football players, we all grew up, you know, UN fans, you know,
exactly.
like, majority of us, you know.
I told him, I was like, okay, I can't be mad, but still, like, you know, you could have showed some love, like, you know, I got some bills to pay, I got some classes to pay, like, this man giving out like $10,000, stack of money, just giving it to people, like, it was amazing, it was beautiful. Yeah, I've never seen nothing like that.
I mean, I always felt Drake showed a lot of love, especially for the South. Like, you know, he showed love to Houston, Atlanta. You know, his old boy is from, like, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee.
You know what I'm saying? Memphis, Tennessee. So he always showed homage to the South. And, like, to get back to, like, the local artists, I'm not saying they don't do nothing, because It's a few of them. It's a few of them that does it, but I'm talking about like, you know, one other person that have done that is Pitbull.
Yeah,
for sure. Like Pitbull opening charter schools and stuff like that. But like Drake have done so much
within a short amount of time.
You know, I feel like we have the Pitbulls, we have the Rick Rosses, the DJ Khaled's, the Trick Daddies, the Trinas. Those are the main people
of Miami. When you think about Miami, those are the main artists that come to mind.
Yeah. And some of it is our fault, you know, because the fact that I had a conversation on my last podcast, you know, shout out to Andres. He's the owner of AAO printing. And he also have his clothing line called Most Vows. So we spoke about like how, you know, a lot of Miami artists, you know, a lot of people in Miami, period, like in different industries, we don't really support ourselves unless we are in a circle.
Yeah.
And like you look at other cities, even if you look at New York and LA, you know, especially New York, you know, they may have their beef and stuff, but at the end of the day, they still will work together and stuff like that. And I feel like Miami is like,
Bro, Miami, like, I have even, like, friends that tell me that, like, if you look at it as, like, especially, like, with, I guess you would say, like, within the Christian hip-hop area, Miami's not really big on it, but if you go to Houston, huge market. You go to Chicago, huge market. You go to, like, anywhere on the West Coast, huge market. But it's just like Miami has this pride that it's just like we don't want to help each other. We just want to like tear each other down.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it's just like, you know, we can all be great too. Like what's the problem of like being great together, like eating together? But then again, it's just like, you know, from movies and just hearing like this type of business is just like cutthroat.
It's sad, man. Like, you know, Miami. We was all, like, this whole city was built off of, you know, the immigrants and, you know, of course, the drugs and all that stuff. But time flew by, and, like, we in the time where we have so much, you know, people, you know, especially our age that's doing so much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, now I feel like it's a time of unity. You know, it's a time of unity, it's time to work together. Because I'm like, instead of having the artists come out every 10 years, just have them come out every other year. Like, look at Atlanta. Prime example. They come out with artists, like, every year. 5 every year. Like, I'm like, who is that? He's from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just, it's time. You know what I'm saying?
It is time. It's overdue.
Yeah.
Way overdue.
Yeah, so, do you think that it will ever be a time where Christian rap will have their respect down here in Miami? Because times are changing, you know.
Times are changing. Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like there is a very like big like opportunity here, but it's just like getting together with the right people and just like, you know, just putting yourselves out there, not being afraid, like even if people don't agree with what you're saying. And I think like that's the most scariest part because it's just like you see everything that's happening in the world. It's like, you know, a lot of people just getting killed for no reason, and then it's just like some people they're killing you also based on like whatever it is you believe in.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a very like how would you say, like it's a very touchy subject. Yeah. But I feel like it's something that has to be touched because it's just like, you know, like at the end of the day, like there are people who do believe in God. There are people who are looking for that outlet, and you know they don't have the means to just travel to Atlanta to go to a concert, to Tampa every time. Like, you know, the same way that we bring all these big major artists down to Miami, the arena. Or even the Fillmore on the Miami Beach. Like, you know, we can try to do that more with Christian artists, but at the same time, like, it's also like a business. At the end of the day, like, regardless of what genre you do, it's a business.
Yeah, it's always a business.
If they're not making money from it, and they're losing more money from it, they're not going to want to. But I feel like there's opportunity for it to grow. It's just getting connected with the right people.
You know, like you said, like, you know, with the different tragedies, you know, the other day with the shooting, up in Parkland. I actually worked not near there, but probably like 20 minutes from there. But the kids, the day after was asking me like, Coach Mobley, did you see did you hear about it and stuff? I said, yeah. And kids nowadays are more alert. I mean, in our generation, you was alert too, especially what happened with September 11th,
Yep.
when we was all down here and stuff. And I remember like leaving school early, and I was asking my mom what happened, and just seeing the videos. And like, I feel like music is one of the cures. I would say sports and music is the cures because it keeps people outside. It keeps people not thinking about too much of
What's going on outside.
Going on in the world.
Kind of like your escape.
Yeah,
like your outlet to
yeah.
kind of just like zone out.
Yeah, because it's like when I listen to music or when I'm doing music or when I'm watching the sport, I don't want to hear nothing about politics. I want to stay away from for what's going on with the different tragedies and stuff like that. I want to stay away from now the stocks going down, because that was another issue the last few weeks. Stocks was going down, or our president, we call him number 45. He ain't my president. Talking about the different, immigrants and stuff, but she don't know that this whole country was built by immigrants. You know what I'm saying? So, it's crazy. And like with the different things, going on, with the president, with the shootings, with everything. Like, what you think? Do you like to get back on the Christian rap, like just the Christian music in general? Do you think that? Because like you said before, like a lot of people always go to God whenever something goes wrong, goes bad. Do you think as a small community of Christian rappers, do you think that is there? I'm trying to see how I ask this. Like, think y'all can bring like a more of a positive impact if people just give y'all a chance?
I 100% believe that we could if people would give us more of the opportunity.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like, like that's what Christian rap is. It's just like giving the impact that there is hope and it has a name, whether you believe in him or not. Like, he's there. And a lot of people like to look at him, okay, if he's there, why he let this bad stuff happen? It's just like, at the end of the day, we don't know why things happen. He knows why. But at the end of the day, it's all for a reason. And whether it's to bring the nation together in such a way that we've never seen it come together before, or to just like, I don't know, let people know, like, hey, like the end is near. Like, at the end of the day, like, like I could be wrong, and you can say like, hey, like there is no God, like everybody's gonna go to the same place. But what if I'm right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, like that's just me. So it's like, I think about it as like, if I'm right, I know where I want to go. So it's just like, me personally, as far as like spreading that impact, I feel like if we had more of an opportunity as a majority of these mainstream artists with just that type of platform, I think that it'd be, like a difference. I'm not going to say maybe a huge 180 difference, but I think we'll start to see a difference within like, just within the kids and just like within just the community, just if they give us an opportunity. And it's kind of crazy that you touched that, because majority of the listeners that I have, and I did like an ad just to see like more or less what's my age range. And it's crazy because I had a very big age range for like kids within like the beginning of middle school towards the middle of high school. And it's just like, the way I look at it is just like, you have that, and then I also had like elementary school. And a lot of people would look at it like, hey, like you're an artist for kids or whatever. And it's like, not even that. It's just, if you look at it, who's the future? The kids. Yeah. So it's like, you start with the kids first, and you start implementing little things here and there. Like, it does have an effect on the way that they're that they grow as they get older. Obviously, it's a lot harder to get the older crowd because we're old enough to make our own decision, and it's just like we feel that whatever someone like me would come and say is like, oh, you're judging me, you're like, who are you, whatever. Little kids, they don't think that way. Little kids are just so innocent and so pure. So it's just like, just being able to start with them first, and as they get older, like they have the decision whether they want to, which way they want to walk.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. Like, at first I kind of got sad that most of the majority of my listeners were like young. But then again, I realized.
That's a positive thing.
But I realized that is a very positive thing because if you look at mainstream artists, a lot of their fans are small kids as well. But me personally, I'm not gonna want to have my daughter at the age of 3 singing Cardi B. Like, I'm gonna look at her crazy. I'm gonna be like, "What you doing? Like, you better go sing some old McDonald or something." Like, you know, they didn't be talking about bloody moves and all that stuff. Like, you don't know about this.
But like to go back to that, like now we older. You know, remember 10 years ago we was the future. We are the future, but we the future of like we the next man up and being like the lead the world. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, like, you know, working with kids and stuff like that, I see, you know, the impact that I give them. You know, they ask me questions about school and like, you know, what I do, and they get, you know, they be more inspired. Because I tell them, like, when I was young, I had people older than me, you know, give me different advices, you know. Like, not all of them was perfect, but all of them gave me good advices, and it kept me, and it taught me how to be, you know, the man I am today. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of Cardi B, what you think about Cardi B? As a female
artist, me personally, I'll be honest, I wasn't her biggest fan at first when I saw her on Love and Hip Hop, just because it was just like, when I first started watching the show, I was like, this girl's real extra, like she's real extra. But then like I just kept watching the show, and I was like, you know, as another she's extra, this is who she is. And like I started to have a respect for her that at the end of the day, like no matter what people said about her or what they thought about her, she stayed true to herself. So it's just like I have so much respect for that. And like whenever her music comes out, like she's kind of like Drake. Whenever Drake drops something, I have to go listen to it. Whenever she drops something, I'll go and I'll listen to it. And it's just to like kind of hear like where she's at, in a sense of like where her, you know, her developing process and stuff like that. And I think it's like, I think it's dope that, you know, she gave up the being on the reality TV to be real serious on what she wanted, and obviously staying true to who she is. Because even within her music, she's still true to who she is. So it's like I have so much respect for that. So it's just like, me personally, I'll admit, when I first started watching her Love and Hip Hop, I wasn't her biggest fan. But as I kept watching, I ended up becoming a fan because I respected the values that she had towards herself, which was remaining true to be able to succeed and get where she wanted to be.
I like, you know, my fiance love her. You know, I feel like
my sister loves her too. So that's her spirit.
She a up north bias because, you know, my fiance, she's from New York. But
okay.
With me, I respect her grind, huh?
She from the Bronx?
Nah, she from Manhattan. Well, the part she from Manhattan is close to the Bronx. So
okay. Basically,
I always tell her, like, whenever she get kind of hood, I'm like, that's that Manhattan Bronx, like, type stuff. But, I always tell her, like, you know, at first, I thought it was a joke, but I was like, Cardi B is like, she's really, like, she's good. Like, I heard her mistakes, and I'm like, this girl she could do hooks.
Yeah.
Now she's becoming like a Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like 10 years from now, she could be on that level with Drake and Snoop Dogg and all that. Like, you can't put them in the category. They just in this special.
That they can kind of just go. Yeah. They're open. They're diverse.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I see her going at it, like, you know, 10 years from now. And it's crazy because, like, I'm older than her about, like, a few months. You know what I'm saying? But
I think I'm older than her too. No, she's 25. Right?
Yeah, she was born 92.
Okay, no, she's older than me.
But you still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before I, you know, we talk about the top 5 and stuff and close out the podcast. Do you watch sports?
To be honest, I only watch them whenever my family has them on. So it's just like, I watch the Super Bowl, but I honestly, I just watch it for the commercials. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
My fiance all the women in my life, my mom and all them, like, I just watched it for the Super Bowl. I mean, for the commercials
and the halftime show. But the show, I was very disappointed.
Why?
I feel like Justin Timberlake could have did a lot better. Like,
I felt like I was content with it. Like, I felt like, yes, he could have did way better, but he also, as a 90s baby, you also realize Justin Timberlake had a lot of hits.
He did.
Like,
I think that's why I was so like, because I loved him when he was in NSYNC.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, when I saw it, I was like, this is what I was not expecting. Like, I was hoping, like, crossing my fingers he was gonna bring out NSYNC and do like something. But I
was thinking that too, or Janet Jackson, but it was reports that she wasn't gonna come out anyway. But to me, what saved the halftime was when he did a tribute to Prince. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody in the hood was crying. I kind of shed a tear when I seen that, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I seen Prince. So what I like to do in the podcast, I like to have, like, top fives, you know, towards the end.
Okay.
You said Drake is one of your favorite rappers. Before we have top five rappers, have you had any, like, female, like, artists that influenced you growing up?
Female artists that influenced me growing up.
Yeah. They don't even have to necessarily be rappers.
I know that a lot of artists that I used to listen to was Eve.
Yeah, Eve.
I used to listen to Eve. I used to listen to Gwen Stefani at one point. Queen Latifah.
Legend.
Little Kim, but it wasn't like every song, but it was majority of her songs.
Pretty much the old Kim.
Yeah, the old one.
From when she first started to, like, when we was in middle school. I feel like that was her last time. High school, and she still had her, but she kind of.
Yeah, she was. I don't know. I think she was trying to, like, find who she was again, because, like, everything was changing.
Mm-hmm.
Music, everything was changing, but it's pretty much it. Like, now that I think about it, I listen to a lot of, like, guys.
Yeah. So I could just say a top five of, not just because I remember I forgot who it was, but I think I broke it down. Top five. No, I never did a top five female.
No, somebody did that to me, and it was so hard for me because I was like, So
you don't have a top five, like,
females,
overall?
I have a top five, like, of artists that I like to listen to, but based on, like, their lyricism. But
so we could go by that, like, by lyrics, because that's what my dad. Shout out my homeboy Ladarian. A couple of episodes ago, he broke it down. Like, that was the longest, like, podcast, like, I ever did, like 3 hours.
Oh wow!
But he broke down each artist, like, his true top five, and he had, like, a top five lyrical. So you talking about lyrics as far as, like, overall just females, you know, you could do that as well.
Like I said, I didn't really listen to a lot of females growing up.
Mm-hmm.
It was mainly like guys. But
so what's your top five?
For top five for guys, I'm gonna say Biggie, Tupac,
okay,
Kendrick, Logic.
Go on with your fifth.
Hold on. Because this is hard. Because it's just like, I'm between Eminem, and then I'm also between, I'm between Eminem and I'm between J. Cole. Mainly J. Cole because he's a storyteller.
Yeah.
And that's the way that I see myself too. Like, I like to tell stories. And then, like, with Kendrick, he basically, at least now, he talks more within, like, the politics of what's really going on. And, like, kind of puts that in there. And then Logic is just a beast.
No, I love Logic. I love Logic. It's a few people that in with Logic because of, I guess, because the biracial thing.
Yeah.
Explain your top five. So Biggie was is in any order or just?
No, just whichever.
So Biggie, you said first. Why Biggie?
Biggie mainly because growing up, when I used to get dropped off, my dad always used to have in the car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like going to school, or just always listening to, what is it? It was Juicy, and like I mean, it was Juicy, and oh my God, I can't think of the other one right now, but I know it was Juicy. That was always the main song when we got in the car and we got out of the car. Don't ask me how it got to the front and the back, but that was just my dad. And then with Tupac, it was mainly Dear Mama.
Yeah, Dear Mama, yeah.
Dear Mama, and then California Love. Like,
classic.
I don't know, like it was just something about those two that it was just like it was two different songs.
Yeah.
And then like with Hail Mary, and then what was it? I know that they made a cover to it, but it's basically That's Just the Way It Is.
Oh, it'll never be the same.
And that Changes.
Changes.
Changes. Like they made a cover to it, and it's crazy because it's just like even now when I listen to it, I was just like, I don't know, it's like one of my favorites. But it's like it's crazy because what he talked about, between what him and Biggie talked about back then, it's happening now.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know. And then what else did I say?
Logic, but I want Logic to be last.
Okay.
So you said J. Cole, Kendrick, and Eminem is like a, you don't know about J. Cole and Eminem is like a
Because with Eminem, me personally, it's just like I think the only rapper that's ever like tried him is 50 Cent.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. But like everybody else, Kendrick, I remember he came after him, but he came after a whole bunch of people. He came after him, he came after Drake, he came after J. Cole, he came after all of them in one song.
I mean, back in the day, Ja Rule came out after Eminem, but Ja Rule is a rapper, but Ja Rule to me is not.
Nah, I didn't. He made some
good
good
music. He
music.
made some good music, but I remember he had the beef with Eminem. And he talked about Eminem's daughter, and then Eminem went off. I feel like low key, Eminem ruined Ja Rule's career than 50 Cent. A lot of people ain't talking about that, but you heard his response. You know what I'm saying? But
all I know
that's up for the debate.
Is that with Eminem, it's just like you barely see white boys that have like the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's just like you put him on any beat. Like now he even got a song with Ed Sheeran. And it's just like stuff that I didn't even think, like with his album that he came out now. It's just kind of mind blowing because it's like not that he's been quiet, but it's just like he's been doing other things.
So you like the album?
I like the album.
You one of the few people that I never heard the album because I'm scared because all the reviews. Maybe I would like it too, but everyone like that's like Eminem fans like got them like Eminem is my favorite rapper of all time. So like I heard that it wasn't his lyrics. It was more of the production because him and Dre was always together. You know what I'm saying? Eminem had the lyrics, Dre had the production, so that worked. You know what I'm saying? Even Eminem would produce a song here and there. But why you think it was? I have to listen. Now you gonna make me listen to the album.
Well, me personally, it's not the same Eminem from 8 Mile from Curtain Call. Like, so it's just like if you're gonna go with that mentality, you're gonna be disappointed off it. But it's just something different in the sense of where like, he has like different genres joining him to sing while he's rapping. So it's just like
Ed Sheeran is dope.
Exactly, and it's just like I don't know, like it was just something different, and it felt nice to listen to him like. Basically, like, going into different areas that I'm pretty sure was scary for him. Like, my fans are used to this. I'm coming back out, with an actual project since God knows when. And it's just like, what are they going to say? But it's just like, I don't know. It's like, like I said, it wasn't like what I'm used to, but it wasn't something that I was like, I'm disappointed it's trash. Like, I can honestly tell you Drake's More Life album was trash. That album was trash. Like
so what? All right, this fun.
Okay.
This fun right here because More Life. I'm not gonna say it was trash. It was alright, but I like Views better. Views to me was. Views brought me back to that Drake when So Far Gone, but mixed with like Take Care and stuff like that. Like it was like a mixture of both.
For me, it was a mixture of So Far Gone, Take Care, and Nothing Was the Same all together.
Yeah, all together.
And I was just like, dude, like that was the first concert that I ever went to of him when he came for the Summer 16 tour. It was the best. It was the best gift to myself that I could have ever got myself. Like, I was right there in the front, and he went way back to So Far Gone. Like, within his music, nothing was the same. Like, it was crazy. But like I said, More Life to me was trash. Like, I waited so long. I purchased Apple Music just to listen to the podcast before the album released. And it was just like, I've never gone through an entire Drake album where I would skip through it. I let it ride. That album, I think I only like 3 songs.
What songs was those?
Teenage Fever.
Good.
Blem.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Wow. Can't remember right now. But it wasn't a lot. I just know those 2 were the ones I used to listen to a lot. And it was like, it was just catchy. But I don't know.
More Life trash. Well, a lot of people said it was. I
said it. If he would have came out with a tour for More Life, I would have not bought a ticket. Now, if he comes out with a tour for Scary Hours, I'm there.
Mine's is my favorite song from that EP. Not
If you read this is too late.
No. I'm talking about the
Scary Hours.
Scary Hours. Not God's Plan.
Diplomatic.
That's
Bro, Diplomatic Immunity.
When you talk about J-Lo, cause that's my, my fiance. Everybody know that's my baby right there. So I felt him. I was like, yeah. I'm like, what she doing with A-Rod? Now A-Rod ain't got nothing against you. You can be on my show, but I'm like,
I know. It's just like, man, look. When I heard that, I was like, yo, the boy is back.
Yes.
Like, because me personally, with More Life, it pissed me off because I'm like, yo, what's he doing? Like, he's not rapping. He's singing, but the majority of it, it's not really singing. He's putting other people from the UK to be on the song. And I'm like, okay, bro, I understand you're trying to put people on, but, like, I want to hear you. I'm paying to hear you.
So what you think about, so if you thought that was trash, what you thought about him in Future joint? I liked it.
Jumpman?
Like the
What a Time to Be Alive. I liked it.
It was good. Like for
a collaboration album. Yeah.
Because some people felt like it was rushed, but
I thought it was pretty good.
It goes in about 5.
All right. Yeah, they close in 5 minutes, y'all. So we about to wrap up. So before we close it off, you said J. Cole, Kendrick. Now Logic. I want to hear this before we close out the podcast.
Okay. Well, mainly with Logic, I found Logic on Pandora, and it was from one of his first albums, and the song was called. Oh my God, what was it called? I just know the song goes like the chorus. It goes what?
I think I know the song you're talking about.
I just can't think of the name right now, but it's like I heard that song, and it was just like I was like, yo, like who's this guy? So I started looking him up, and then when his recent album had came out, like it was just like he was touching all these things that I feel like he's one of these artists that's not afraid to touch the sensitive topics, and it's just like he knows he's gonna be judged for it, but he doesn't care. Like what he did with the 1-800.
That was beautiful. We need that was a much needed, track. Like for me, like a lot of people fought, with depression and stuff like that. I never went to a point where I want to commit suicide, but depression and anxiety, all that stuff is real.
It is
what I'm saying? And I feel like, especially with us being creators, I feel like a lot of creators deal with that. I guess not because of the pressure, but just because you want to make it. You know what I'm saying? You're creating all this stuff, but it's not.
It's not really like something that's important. It's like it's pressure we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
When I heard the song, and honestly, I was like, even looking at the album, I was like, okay, why he needed this? Then I saw the last song, and it was the 1-800.
Yeah.
So I was looking at it, I was like, okay, I don't understand. Then I called the number, and I was like, because when I first heard it, I was like, okay, why does he sound so suicidal?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I called the number 2. I was like, oh shit,
why
it's
does
a real
he sound
number.
so suicidal right now? Like, he don't want to be alive. Like, what he talking about? Like, what is this? What am I listening to? And when I looked at it and I looked it up, I was like, wow, like that was amazing, because a lot of people don't want to talk about those things, like mental illness and just like things that are scary to touch about. And it's like he touched about it. He gave those people a platform to know, like, hey, you know, you're not alone. Like, you know, it's just being transparent. And I feel like he's one of those artists that the reason why he wants to continue to stay transparent is because he wants his audience to continue to identify themselves within his music. And I feel like as an artist, that's our job. To be transparent so that our fans can connect with us in a way that it's just like, you know, you wrote that song for me. Like, you were thinking about me. And in reality, you probably weren't thinking about that exact individual person. But you were thinking about the concept of it all. So it's like, I don't know. I respect him a lot for that.
So, before Starbucks close on us, you have any shout-outs?
I'm going to give a shout-out to my engineer, Tony Grandson. He helped me basically put together this whole album, very new name. You guys want to stream it? It's on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, SoundCloud, YouTube, you name it, it's there. Basically, just give a shout-out to my homeboy, Sean, J-Con, my best friend Britt, and my little brother, and just basically like everybody that actually got the opportunity to listen to the album. Send me your feedback and just, you know, give me the opportunity to just share a little bit of my journey with you.
That's what's up. So I appreciate you being on the show.
I appreciate you
Next
having
time,
me.
hopefully we'll be more in a quieter space, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But shout out to Starbucks.
Shout out to Starbucks on Biz King, you know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But Sports Biz Music, we on I'm on the show is on Radio Public, iHeartRadio, iTunes, TuneIn, radio app. Coming soon to YouTube, SoundCloud. It's on Vaudou and Spotify. I'm just trying to just blow up.
You got to make yourself as, you know, accessible as you can.
Yeah.
Accessible as you can.
Yeah. But this been your boy DJ Anonymous with Sports Biz Music with the guest Jekasole.
All right.
And we out.